this is a Lego Minion. And in this video, I'm gonna be building and blabbing about every Lego Despicable Me minifigure ever made. So with that said, Lego. Now there are a lot of different characters from this franchise Lego could make, so let's start with Gru.
I sit on the toilet. What?
The first version of normal Gru came in the Minions and Gru's Family Mansion set, and it's kind of disappointing. First, if Gru is known for two things, it's being very tall and having a pointy nose, and he's missing both those things here. First, his lack of nose just feels weird, but it would have been okay if the rest of his body kind of matched the actual version of Gru, and it doesn't. He looks exactly like a normal minifigure. I think without all of these things, it just looks kind of lazy and like Lego didn't really try hard with him. That's why I tried making a version of him with a Pinocchio nose. But some figures who do look better than Gru are the girls.
He's so fluffy, I'm gonna die!
He adopted them in the first movie, and we have all three of them in this one set. You've got Margot, who was voiced by the same girl who played iCarly. This one looks okay. I think they probably should have given her the midi scale legs because she was a little taller than the other two, but she still looks good. Edith comes with this brand new exclusive hair mold piece with a pink cap on it, and Agnes looks great with her overalls that look like they're supposed to come from a Minion.
Just one more. I accidentally closed my eyes.
And then of course in the next Despicable Me movie, he met Lucy, who he ended up marrying, and I think this minifigure looks pretty solid. She is an alternative face with sunglasses, but her main face looks good enough. She also has red hair and this polka dot scarf. Now that I think about it, what's with all these villains having scarves? Anyway, the scarf happens to match Fozzie Bear, and later after her and Gru got married, they had Gru Jr. Now Gru Jr. does not like regular Gru, and he looks kind of basic. He has orange eyebrows, which clearly come from Lucy, and he has the gray suit, which I guess comes from Gru. And speaking of Gru Jr., let's look at what the actual Gru Jr. looked like in the Despicable Me The Rise of Gru sets, with this child Gru minifigure.
All right. I surrender. Come on in.
He's pretty tall for a child, especially considering his kids were probably the same height, but they gave him tall legs for some reason. And he came in this 54-piece minifigure pack, which came with 3 other characters, like Bell Bottom, who's actually really detailed and is one of the only supervillains from this movie that Lego has officially made. There's been no Vector, there's been no Scarlet Overkill, there's been no Drew Gru, there's been no El Macho, and there's been no evil Minions. So she's the best we're gonna get. But speaking of Minions, let's take a look at the most made Lego Minions ever. Kevin, Bob, and Stuart. And there are a lot of variations of these guys, with a version of Bob from a polybag as a mech character with a fart gun and this banana. He also has these arm attachments, which are epic. You have Gru's Unstoppable Bike Chase Bob, as well as Minifigure Pack Bob, Airplane Bob, and my favorite, Dojo Bob. And this one was a weird inclusion because it came in the brick-built Minion set and not the Dojo set, which basically forces you to buy that one to complete the whole set, which is really dumb. But the good news is that set did come with Stuart and Kevin in their Dojo gear, and Stuart was great because he probably has the most variations of any of these characters, because after fighting the dummy Minion, he could change out his outfit and go to bed inside his own head with this sleepy outfit, and in his dreams he could fly a plane in his pilot outfit. They obviously also have slightly different faces, which is nice, and he only has one normal version in the Gru's Unstoppable Bike Chase set. But the least made of the 3 was Kevin, but he's also my favorite. He came all kitted out in the brick-built Minion set, and he was also in Gru's layer set, which is great because he could ride the little roller coaster build, and he also has some slightly different faces, with again the best one being from the dojo. And the dojo is awesome because Kevin can do some serious training and also beat up the Minion Otto, keeper of the golden banana. Otto is a bit of a nerd. He also gets distracted very easily, and that's kind of why Kevin, whacked him. And there are 2 versions, Surprised Otto and Happy Otto. He's also super fat and could hardly fit in the plane. And those are all the characters from Minions, so we have to skip all the way back to Despicable Me 4. And there are 4 different sets with minifigures. First is the Mega Minion Party Bus, and this is the place to be. It comes with a minifigure of Mel, who has this pink hat and is vibing it out on the DJ board. You also have Dave and Bill, who come with party hats, and our first Mega Minion, Gus. He looks incredibly sus, and apparently has the power to fly. And speaking of flying minions, is AVL Tim from the Minions Banana Car. This was basically an epic Minions battle pack, which came with another Mel minifigure, but Tim is really cool in this one because you could swap out his eyes to have these cool goggles and this spinning fan to make him fly. Then you have Pit Crew Ron, who in the movie was known for, changing out all the different diapers on the baby. I'm pretty sure that's what this gun is actually for. And he could clean up all the big despicable messes. And speaking of big despicable people, here is Dave. This Dave is a Mega Minion, and bro is beefy. That's a beefy boy. He's pumping some iron, and he's just vibing straight up. Look at this man. I got him loading engines on the banana cars. What an absolute unit. But speaking of units, next is Mega Minion Jerry. This guy's a literal rock. Apparently his character was based off of the Thing from the Fantastic Four, and I can't say I disagree. This guy is awesome. He can eat explosives, roll around, and destroy stuff. And he has to have some of the most intense teeth I've ever seen on a minion. Can you imagine how many bananas this dude could consume? Probably almost as many as Mega Minion Tim can reach. So this guy's whole thing is that he has stretchy arms, and I actually like him a lot. You can use his arms to slap your boy from across the room, or pick up another minion. And on top of that, you're just using to spy on someone because he's so tall. He's also the most disproportionate minion I've ever seen in my whole life. And the last Mega Minion is Mel, who we've seen 2 versions of already, and now he has a laser eye. In the movie, this thing cut through the entire Earth, and this one could probably do a very similar thing. He's probably the most boring looking of the Mega Minions, but has probably the coolest power. But there's still one more minion, and it's the one in the Minion Jetboard. This one comes with a freeze gun, and I'm pretty sure it's Tim. It has a pretty similar face to him, but it hasn't been confirmed, so really we don't know. But he also comes with a wrench and this hairpiece, and those are supposed to be all the official ones, which is nuts. LEGO needs to make more Despicable Me minifigures. They need to make Vector, which is what I did for the video, and they need to make Dr. Nefario, which is what I did for the video. They're missing so many characters, and I think it is despicable that they haven't been able to make more. Tell me which minion was your favorite in the comments below, and also if you comment, you have a chance to win one of these Minion Jetboards, which I'm gonna be giving away to a lucky subscriber. With all that said, God bless and stay awesome.